Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mic'd Up Savages. I'm here today with Murph, and we're finally going to have to go over the last series of the Yankee seasons versus the Rays. We were the only team to actually go 5 games, though, so we can say that.
Sure.
If you want to say that.
I guess.
Start with all the negatives.
There's a
Game
lot of
1
them.
was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Great offensive firepower. Gerrit Cole pitched it great. You go to game 2, you get Devian, for the 1 inning. And then, we got him there. The Rays never had a deal with this, switch the lineup and put J.A. Happ in, I want to hear your take on that because I'm very heated about this. I'll go off later about it.
All right. So first of all, I think the Yankees are trying to get way too cute here. They're trying to do something that they've never done before. It's something that many teams haven't done before, haven't seen. And they're trying to put Garcia in order to get the lefty matchup for Happ. Because from the get-go, they're like, we're giving Garcia 1 inning, which, all right, whatever. I mean, in theory, this is a okay strategy, but you got to think, who's the lefty you're putting on the bump, right?
It's not Andy Pettitte. It's not playoff Pettitte.
And it's like, this isn't a Paxton, right? This isn't a guy who's going to come in and shove and lights out, right?
Yeah.
This is J.A. Happ, right? Very, very sketchy pitcher. And last year, he did not perform well at all in the playoffs. And this year.
Or in the regular season last year.
Yeah. And then this year, surprise, surprise, didn't perform at all. And the Yankees were trying their best to get him in a favorable matchup, get the Rays to stack lefties. And the Rays basically called our bluff. They basically said, oh, you want lefties? All right, cool. And then Happ came in and said, you get a hit. You get a hit. You get a walk. You get a walk. You get a hit. You get a hit. Run, 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 run. And then we lost. That's how that game went. Happ doesn't go in that game, we probably win that game.
Mm-hmm. I really do think, even though Garcia gave up the home run in the first inning, I really don't think he was as phased as people were like, oh, he's nervous, get him out of it. No, don't do that. He's done this before. He's given up runs in the first inning. He knows how to navigate, and he looked like he was ready for a playoff game. He was treating it like a normal game.
And you got to remember, he gave up a home run to the hottest player in the playoffs thus far.
Yeah.
And Randy, the guy's been on fire. He's just literally been lighting it up. And the Rays, easily the Rays' best hitter. And I mean, was it an 0-2 count? I feel like he got ahead, right? It was an 0-2 count. I feel like every home run we've given up this postseason has been an 0-2.
Has been ahead in the count. Like,
it's just
make your pitch. Like, you have your
fair share of overall options. The biggest negative I have over the whole pitching staff. I don't even think our pitching staff was truly that bad. It was just our 0-2 counts and our sequences are just such dog. They're so bad. And that's simple stuff. That's literally little league stuff. That's high school stuff. That's stuff you go, hey, we're ahead of the count. So this pitch shouldn't be in the zone at all.
If you're going to miss over the catcher's head. If you're going to miss in the dirt. If you're going to miss, do not leave it in the zone. Like,
there's just no way. And I don't even want it to be a fastball for most of these guys. Like, I don't think, other than Gerrit Cole, who even then, I don't even know if I want him throwing a fastball on an 0-2 count. These guys should be dirt balling this, going upstairs, outside. I don't know what they got to do, but there's no way the ball should ever be in the zone on an 0-2 count. And it feels like every time we got punished, every time they left the ball over the heart of the zone, and we got punished bad.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how hard you throw. You get a bat on the ball, it's going to go far, especially when you're in a clutch situation like that and you get the bat on the ball. I mean, you saw it with Brasio at the end, like the last home run. Of course, Chapman for the third year in a row, giving up a home run to pretty much send their team, except with the Cubs when he actually won. But it was a playoff home run. That was, I think, if we win game 2, which we could have. I really think we could have.
We really could have. Yeah.
If Garcia was in, that would have changed the whole series, of course. We would have been up 2-0. You let the Rays back in.
Yeah. It's almost like from an outsider's perspective, it's almost like they were really willing to give up game 2 because they just felt like in their hearts of hearts, we had already won game 3. And they're like, okay, so we have a game to burn. Let's just do it in game 2 because Half and Garcia haven't pitched in a while. So they're like, we can probably get away with doing this. That's what they thought. They thought we can get away with doing this. We can save the pen for Tanaka, and we can win game 3. And look what happened. We lost game 2 bad, and then we lost game 3 really bad. Tanaka, I don't know what happened, dude. Playoff Tanaka did not show up this year at all. He had a really bad playoff. I think game 1 I give him some slack. Or his first game in the playoffs I gave him some slack because just the shitty conditions he had to go through. But this game, no excuses.
That's doable. Like there's an overall excuse, which really isn't an excuse. It's an actual. You mess with a guy's routine. You make him go pitch out in the rain. No one ever pitches in the rain for a reason. It's rain. It's conditions. You don't put him out there. But the game 3, like, what the hell are you doing, Tanaka? Some of the shit that he was doing, like, I don't know if he's the same player ever since he got hit in the head. With the
I don't know.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it either. There's also rumors going around that he's been offered a contract back home in Japan, a very hefty contract. But we'll get into that another episode. Game 3 though, Tanaka just didn't show up. And
no, he just
you have to give us something better than that.
Yeah. It's just unacceptable. You gotta keep us in the fight, and he really didn't do that for us. The offense didn't really help him up too much, but yeah, just terrible stuff all overall from him.
Did Ottavino pitch at all in that series?
He did. He pitched. I think it was that game, not even an inning. I think he got like 3 batters. He got the 3 batters he was supposed to get, and I think he got 1 out. They just don't trust him. They just. I don't know what happened. I don't know when that switch just flipped for them, and they're just like, Ottavino's unplayable. That's in my mind. That's what they said. They said Ottavino's unplayable, and especially against the Rays, where they're just going to immediately start going lefty-righty matchups against him, and they're going to start playing with his head. And if a runner gets on, he just cannot be in the game at that point.
Too slow to the plate. The runners mess with his head. I think Green did well out of the bullpen. I think Britton did well out of the bullpen. Loaiza did not do good.
No, it was the core 3 again. It's like if you're a Yankee right now, Yankee fan, this is how you have to envision every game. Your starter has to give you a solid 6 or 7, and then it goes Green, Bryn, Chapman, and that's how you win a game. Anybody else has to pitch at this point, you're in trouble. We're in bad shape, and that's exactly what happened in games 2 and 3. Yeah. We had to deviate from those 3, and we lost.
I get the whole at least for this year, arms are taxed, guys are coming back off of injury. There's no real you get them in a meaningless game. You get them in you got to go out there right out of and like an injury that Loaiza had. You got to go throw competitive innings, pressure on a guy, never really gets back to full form. You can't be making excuses, but that is an excuse. But
But I think overall, Loaiza, I really like Loaiza this year. I really liked him.
He did great this year.
He did great. The problem is they didn't build him up as a high-intensity type of reliever. They used him as an opener and then, mid-inning reliever.
Yeah.
They never, ever used him in a situation where it's high-intensity, runners on base ever. He never came in to relieve guys on run on base.
He came in clean innings and to start games.
Clean innings to start games. And he came in 6, 7. He never came in anywhere after unless it was a blowout and we're like, hey, go close the game then. But there was never high intensity situations, and then they brought him in the playoffs as if he was a bona fide closer.
Yeah, he's been through it in the playoffs before. He's a rookie to the playoffs, in my mind. He has maybe 3-4 innings in the playoffs in either blowout games or we're getting blown out games kind of thing. There's never been a high leverage in the playoffs, let alone playoffs this year or playoffs last year or even regular season this year at least.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you how I think naive we were as fans, and I think as a whole fan base to think how good our pen was, right? We're sitting here thinking our pen is one of the best in the league, and then here we are come to find out that realistically we have 3 guys. We have 3 guys out of the pen who we can lean on heavily, and then after that it's who's going to show up, right? Is Holder going to show up? We thought Holder might be able to step up We thought Nelson might be able to step up.
Nelson did well.
Nelson did well, but he's not the guy we need, right?
Yeah,
at that time.
not at all.
Can he be that guy? Absolutely. I think he can. I think he has the stuff to be that guy. But rookie year, you cannot just expect him to be like, there you go. That's the guy. He's going to replace Conley.
Out there, yeah.
Because he's not. He's not going to replace Conley.
King did good in the playoffs. He had I think 2 clean innings, I want to say. So, build off of that, for next year. Who else? I just want to throw something out there for you. Imagine in our bullpen now if we had a healthy Tommy Kahnle to go along with all this.
Like, I think I feel a lot better about the whole overall series.
And he bulldogs innings when he's on short rest. He'll go out there and he'll get you out. He'll figure a way out of a jam. And he's confident. You don't see that with some of the other guys.
Yeah, he just doesn't care if his stuff's on or not. He's just like, whatever, dude. I'm a pitch. I'm gonna
go out there and throw.
Me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna find a way to get outs for you, right? And he's another guy who can come and give you 2-3 innings in a game, right? And that turned out to be huge because look at the final game, Game 5. Green had to pitch what, like 3-4 innings
in the last
you
two games.
You had to pitch 2 innings, and then Chapman came in. Britton came in, pitched an inning, and then Chapman had to come in and pitch 3.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Gary Sanchez too. We can get to him in another episode, but I'm sorry, as it is now, I don't think he has a spot on a playoff roster the way that he performs. I
don't even see him on the regular season roster next year. Realistically,
bro, he came into Game 2, and the first 2 pitches he went 1 for 2 on catching them. Back from technical difficulties, but it's okay, Murph. We'll figure it out. Can't happen again, We got Gary Sanchez, Game 2, coming in right out of the gate, going 1 for 2 on just catching the ball from Garcia, and it didn't make Garcia look good, because people have so much faith in Gary Sanchez. Anytime he's in, he has the swing the swing that can put you back into a game. Yep. But he also has a swing that will take you straight out of a damn inning, and he has no hustle at all. No hustle.
Yeah, bro, it's just really frustrating. I don't know what it is anymore. I really don't. It's been really bad baseball for him the last 2 seasons. Realistically, almost 3. I guess 17 was decent, but after that, it's just been kind of like a nosedive at this point. And if I'm being honest, I'm really fed up with it, dude. I don't know. Realistically, I don't know if the Yankees can really afford to take another shot at him. He's only got so much value left at this point. I think his value is at an all-time low. I don't see he can ever be the center of a trade package anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're gonna take a chance on him. I imagine they will. I imagine they're gonna give him
another year,
another year to figure it out. And then after that, it's we're hunting for another catcher, or we're hoping a catcher develops. I just don't.
I really do think though this year, if he is not figuring something out, if he's continuing the same shit up until the All-Star break, and then they are going to move him for whatever it is at the All-Star break, because they're not having it anymore.
You can't have it.
They did say they're going to rock with him next year, and it's going to be him and Higgy, of course, but, as it is now, Higashioka played great in the playoffs. He's my guy.
He was a brick wall back there. He was literally phenomenal behind the plate.
Incredible defense, clutch hitting. He drove in runs, made contact, good ABs. I mean,
that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for.
It's not even Sanchez is going down on 3 pitches. It's not a quality AB.
I'm not expecting Sanchez to go up there and go 4 for 4 with 4 home runs, right? It's not like I'm asking for that. I'm not even asking for 1 home run. I'm asking for a competitive at bat and competitive behind the plate, right? Those 2 things. I just need work ethic and I need hustle. And right now I'm not seeing any of that, at all. It's mind blowing how bad it looks on both sides, right? And they're just building off of each other, right? He's struggling at the plate, so he gets behind the dish. He's like, damn, like I'm struggling back there or up there. And now he just misses a pitch. And he's like, damn, now I'm struggling here. And then he goes back to the plate. Man, I was really struggling back there. Hopefully, no, I'm struggling here still. Like, it's just unbelievably how bad it's just changing for him.
It's been one of those things where it's like, I really do think this next year is his last shot with the Yankees.
Yeah, it might be the Yankees' overall last shot.
It may be his last shot. It should have been his last shot this year, but I really do think next year is his last shot. It could end up being his last shot in baseball if he doesn't figure it out. Because I mean, there are teams that will play him, but it's whether or not those teams will deal with it for this long.
Yeah.
Because he's a great player when he's on, but when he is off, it is a shit show back there.
Bro. It's bad.
He
goes from like a top 10 catcher to like a bottom tier catcher.
Yeah. Like I would have loved to have Mike Zunino behind the plate, At least he put up some damn offense. But but I was very happy with Higashioka's performance. I think he should have been there every game. Should have been behind the plate. I do not know why you're putting Gary behind the dish with Garcia. I'm sorry. Maybe they have the connection, but it's the playoffs. You go with the guy. I think Higashioka hit a home run game 1. Maybe.
I think so.
He drove in some sort of run. It's been a while.
He drove in a run.
I've been grieving for a while.
Yeah, the mourning process.
The mourning process still isn't over until the baseball's officially over. But like, well, positives. Higashioka did great.
Higgy did great. Cole did phenomenal. He did what you ask an ace to do, right?
He did what I think you paid him to do.
He gave us a really solid game 1, kept us in the fight, did really well. Other than the G-Man Choi at bats and the Randy at bats, he did really well for us.
Yeah.
And then game 5, he comes in short rest and he really just puts the Yankees on his back and says, "Here, I'm gonna give us a really good shot to win this game, and I'm gonna put in the hands of the offense, and hopefully something happens, right?" And nothing happened, right? We just couldn't get it done. We just couldn't find a rhythm, and it sucks. It really does. Judgy had a really bad playoffs. Let's just be brutally honest. He had a really bad playoffs. He just couldn't figure it out. Couldn't find that rhythm. Stan had a phenomenal playoffs, and he's really reminding Yankee fans, like, hey, I'm still a full
I can play. I can
play. Right? So that's really good to see. Hicks had a really good playoffs, in my personal opinion. Just really good timing on his walks and on his hits. Just,
great
really,
at bats.
Those were really good quality at bats for Hicks. Those are the at bats he needed to have more of in the regular season, but I'm really glad he had them in playoffs. He really
figured it out
stepped up in a big way.
Yeah.
Clint Frazier had one really good game, and then after that, it's
game 1 versus Snell. Great at bat, great home run. LeMahieu, of course, the hit machine.
Yeah,
it's just expected that he's up. He didn't need to turn it on because he had it on all year.
Yep. Torres had some really solid at bats. He had some solid games there.
I think 300 overall in the offs.
Yeah. Gio kind of after that Cleveland series, he didn't really do much for me. Yeah. That's a shame. Yeah, it just seems like overall the offense wasn't. It was just too inconsistent, I guess. Just to be blunt, I mean, game 5 is just unacceptable. Your ace goes out there and gives you a solid 5. We're in a position to win. You just got to get runs. Got to find a way. I think, overall, Judgy struggling, Gio struggling, Sanchez just not being worth anything. Just really hurt us in the end.
And then, they throw Mike Ford up there to hit, and I'm like, I saw him go up, and I'm like, we're done. We're gonna lose. But I mean, we always say this, always next year, But we did great this year, There was a lot of rough patches, but we had Luke Voigt, tearing it up. Had Gio having a lot of fun out there. DJ LeMahieu, the hit machine, AL MVP candidate, Gary Sanchez, you're trash. To put it lightly, you can go play for the Detroit Tigers. dumpster
We'll
fire.
take Romine back, please.
Yeah. Well, I'll take Romine. At least he'll have like competitive at bats. And give you the heart and hustle,
I just can't believe how much the script has reversed. Like last year, everyone's bragging how deep we were, right? How much depth we had on this team, how we were able to figure out 100 wins with just like basically a AAA team, and some journeymen. And then we turn around this year, pretty much the identical situation, and it just exposed us for how little depth we have.
Yeah.
Just non-existent. Crazy.
Can I one also positive? Jordan Montgomery in Game 4 did great, outstanding. He could be a 5 starter for us now with Debbie in the mix, and Clark Schmidt in the mix next year. He could end up being the 5. Depending, it all depends on who signs with us in the offseason, who we're getting.
A lot of question marks in our rotation right now. We got right now as it stands, 3/5 our rotation could possibly be walking out this offseason.
Yeah. Which is nuts, but we'll figure it out. Yankees always figure it out. Cashman will be that guy sleeping outside the guy's house in a sleeping bag, showing how committed he is to him and giving him the money. I think though if we sign the right pieces this offseason, we could also figure something out. I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna still be a playoff team. We're gonna be competitive, of course. There's no reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not to. But yeah, I really don't like Kevin Cash. He's a bum. Trash manager too. But it's okay. You guys had your little fun, you guys are about to. Did they win? They're about to win against the Astros. Too bad you almost blew a 3-0 lead.
Bro, that would have been. I'd have been beyond mad. Like I think I would have been madder than when we lost if they had lost to the Astros after being up 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Astros shouldn't even be there. That's the most infuriating part. They should not even be in the playoffs. They shouldn't be this far in the playoffs.
Because the Twins should have been it. Like the Twins literally like screwed it up, man.
And then the A's somehow blowing 3 games against them.
But the A's were on the Rays level of talking smack this whole time. Yeah. Then you come out and do that performance.
Just fall so flat.
I mean, I know a few Met fans that are like, if it's Braves, Astros, I'm rooting for the Astros. Like I know a few, and I think if you ever actually watch this video this far, you'll know who you are. It's just like I don't know how you could root for the Astros. I get it's a team in your division, but like I really want the Rays to win the series.
Yeah, I do too. Like I don't care if they took us out. I'm rooting for the Rays, no questions asked.
It's whoever can knock off that team, good. But like if the Rays advance, as it's looking right now, I want an NL team. Yeah. And all you National League fans should also want a National League team because it's going to be should have wanted a National League team if the Astros were in it. Get to the World Series. But that's just your guys' mentality. You got to make your peace with it. You guys are rooting for cheaters. It's just a fact. But the chase for 28 will begin next year. Hopefully on time. None of this shortened season. I think
hopefully there'll be fans, dude. I think that's also a big factor that killed us.
You saw it in Texas. It's been working.
Yeah.
There's no problems. Seeing fans at the game, man, like that. That hit the heart. I'm like, we're getting back. Like
we're starting to get back. Yeah. It's a good step.
Mm-hmm. And then I saw on Instagram today that Masahiro Tanaka and his wife went out to get sushi with Gerrit Cole and his wife. So maybe Gerrit Cole's like, man, in like English. I don't know how. I don't know. I honestly don't know how they're talking though. He doesn't speak English.
He speaks a little bit of English. Come on now.
A little bit. Okay. But maybe he's trying to get him to stay. I don't know if I want him to stay.
I think it all depends how much money he's going to ask, right? I think because I'm really worried that the Yankees are going to do some ignorant BS where they're like 2020 hit us hard in the financial area and we might have to take a step back. And I'm hoping that's not the case, right? Because if that's the case, then we might be a little bit in trouble, right? Because you got DJ to think of, got Tanaka, depending on how much money. You got to think of Paxton. Do they want to bring him back? Hap's already gone. He's nothing to me. Arbitration's going to be a
He
this
go.
year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think we'll cover this more in a later video, but
Definitely.
offseason is going to be important this year. And I didn't think it was going to be that important, but it's looking to be like it's going to have to be really important right now.
Yes. Well, thank you, Murph, for joining me on this. This is the 25th episode of the Mic'd Up Savages. You know, I really numbered them wrong. So thank you all for tuning in. Of course, we're going to continue putting out content of the Mic'd Up Savages, but this is the end of our Yankees season, sad to say. But we're going to be spitting out content, baseball-wise, maybe other sports. So can't thank y'all enough. Have a good one.